Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was muted. We're good to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, welcome once again to the Judges Panel, where you will be judged by your peers, and one of you will become bested by the competition and make your way over to the jury house. We are in the top 10. Jacob, top 10, almost the amount of minutes that it took you to complete the challenge. Walk me through, what did this round look like for you?
I'm just taken aback. Like they had to roast my ass. Like a couple of challenges ago, you were like, Jacob, you did amazing in the challenge, and now you're telling me I did pass. That's crazy. Um, it was weird because up until maybe hour before now, it was like every other vote. It was quiet, it was awkward, people being away and carried off with their obligations. And now it's the opposite of quiet. So not entirely sure. I think very similar to my performance in that challenge. This round and the immediate aftermath can be very tumultuous. Um, Not entirely sure. We're steadily approaching the end game. We're getting closer and closer to that dreaded, what I call the Final Five funeral, as a overarching term for all the Final Five. So whoever gets the javelin. And now that there's no more willing, there's another means of acquiring rings. People are slowly thinking about, I think, end game and making it there is plausible now, and people are starting to think long term. So now I think this round will definitely be a product of that.
To carry on our theme of 10, Scott with the perfect 10, 10 seconds, that is. What was this round like for you post immunity win?
I'm trying to think of something creative to say besides just repeating Jacob. um, I think I'm going to kind of talk about it as a whole and not just afterwards because it's been such a long round. It was nice to kind of have some time to just like relax and not necessarily step away, but like not feel like the heat's been turned up because it's like every single day something's happening. And so this was the first time that didn't happen. So I feel like this was a good round to win immunity, not because of the obvious terror of it being final 10, but because like we had those extra days. So I really could just like take a little time to rest and like recharge because it's only going to get harder from here.
All right, and counting down from 10 to 1, talk to me about what is tonight's vote about? What was the strategy going into this? How are you prepping for the end game?
Well, as always, I can only speak for one. For me, I mean, this vote is about staying alive, honestly, and I think that's for everyone who doesn't have immunity. Wait, I just said I want to only speak for myself. This vote is about, staying alive and, hopefully making it to the next round. Especially this far in the game, you never know what can happen, and you just have to make sure that like you hope the relationship that you built or the connections that you've built over these last few rounds or the whole game will, hold up. But if not, then that something went wrong somewhere. So yeah, it's just about staying alive.
Josh, you played the tower last round, and then Scott immediately played the death card. The death card could have been played against any tarot card, but unfortunately, it was your tarot card that it got played against. How did that impact your game?
Yeah, I mean it was like a net swing, right? Like I lost the card. I've lost two allies back to back, so I'm not in a good position. And then like uh all day today, like I just kind of assumed it's me. No one's really giving me a heads up on where to vote. And like I'm also extremely overworked and extremely tired. So my mood is not the best, and I'm just like so stressed out where I'm like, please, like if it's just me, just let me know so I could just rest. Like I just want to sleep. And ultimately, I mean, like I assumed that like if I after all the events unfolded that like maybe there was glimmers of hope so that I'd be scooped up as an ally because I don't have much to my name right now. But I don't think that's truly the case, but if I honestly have no idea what's gonna happen tonight, and I'm just assuming I'm gonna go home. Um, and if I don't, then someone please help me. But I mean, I'll be in a better headspace tomorrow, whether I'm in the game or not. But I all I could say is I hope I could stay. I would be useful to a bunch of people, I feel.
Nova, when you hear that Josh has lost a couple of allies, that means that there's room open to work with Josh. Does it make sense to try to pull Josh in on a plan, or is it better just to take the vote, the easy vote, I guess?
I mean, it definitely could make sense. But right now, I think there's a lot of people that aren't locked in. I think there's like a lot of people that feel like they maybe don't have a lot of allies. Like, I don't necessarily think that there's like hard locked in sides, really.
Denson, give me some Nature Boy wisdom. What is I'm not getting a whole lot of anything from this judges panel thus far. So give me something to work with.
Well, what's my question? I'm wearing my boat out hat again because I have heard my name. And I fully expect to hear that name plus almost every other name between now and the 30th. I think we're teasing the 30th as far as the finale. Look, at this point, everyone knows who talks to each other. Everyone knows who doesn't talk to each other. You can make as many attempts as you want to talk to people at a certain point. If they're just not responding in a way that you want, or that you feel like they're responding to other people, then it's kind of like, yeah. And I know for me, as someone who's been on spring break since last Thursday, I have made myself as available as possible. Everyone kind of knows, okay, if it's not trivia night, which is tonight, and it's not like the hour or two that I do podcasts 3 days a week, I'm probably going to be here and I'm probably down to talk. If people haven't caught on to that, that's on them, because there are other people in this game that do know that. But I also understand that because it's All Stars, people find their own reasons to want to vote people out. And like I said, because I know my name has at least been floated as an idea, I'm wearing my vote out hat so that people know you didn't blindside me, because I knew it was going to happen. And if I don't get blindsided, at least I get to look nice in my former occupations hat, RPI support. Yeah, and also it's the Ric Flair promo from after the Four Horsemen, after the NWO did a Four Horsemen parody back in '97. It's great. It's my favorite Ric Flair promo. Yeah, I think I answered your non-question.
Decent. All right. Tyler N. Would you rather be in the position like what Denson said, where his name has been heard, or in Josh's position where he said he hasn't really heard anything?
I think most of us are actually in Denson's position where either we have heard our name or we think that people could be saying our name, with the exception of Scott, who is immune. So, like, when you're down to 10 people, I think that more often than not, we are in Denson's position than we are Josh's. Where, like, our name has been floated as an option just because there's only truly 9 options for tonight. So for me, it's almost I would rather hear my name so that I can have the conversations that I need to have with people who I think might have some kind of pull or have some emotional attachment. That'd be where I'm at.
Sanam, Tyler brings up people having pull. Are there players that definitely have more pull than others, or is it just a perception thing?
I think both, but I think it would be naive to think that like my perception is always going to be the right one. And then you're going to hear like people say, "Oh, I'm not as close with so and so as everyone says." And then you're going to hear, "Oh, I'm way closer with so and so than everyone says." Like, I think at the end of the day, we're all going to have our perceptions. There are going to be relationships that are closer than the other. But I also don't think it's smart to assume that just because you knew two people or three people had a really tight relationship 3 rounds ago for one vote means that they're still doing that exact same thing today with the exact same dynamic. This game is going to be constantly changing. And as we get closer and closer, we're all going to make moves that put us in the best position for our game, not us and another person.
All right. Well, it is now time for a burning desire. I know 3 jurors that wish they would have spoke up during their burning desire. Does anybody have anything that they would like to say to defend themselves or possibly call out another player in order to help further themselves in this game? Or are you ready for this round to be done?
I have one.
Yay!
I really think that the power that Austin had that everybody has been speculating over has expired, and I'm voting accordingly.
All right. Sanam is voting accordingly. Does anybody else co-sign that? Agree with that? Want to combat that? Let Sanam know that something different's going on, or we just that's what we're going into the vote with.
I will vote accordingly if it maybe she don't agree with me, but I'll vote accordingly.
All right, well, you got one taker, Sanam. Josh is on board.
Does Josh know what I'm talking about? I just don't want people to be surprised when my vote is different than what was discussed in some groups.
Scott, that's who.
I mean, Jensen's making that face too. I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah, but you unmuted. You unmuted, so.
Oh, I am unmuted. What? What's happening?
You know what? I actually have something I need to say. I feel like if I'm in trouble here, this is the prime opportunity probably to take out like a really strong player. So like, yo, like let's just vote for Renique because she also has a half an extra vote. So like, that's dangerous, y'all. And like, I want to stay in the game, and I need people to help me. So that's where I'm gonna go. And yeah, and if you didn't know that, then you probably weren't a close ally of hers.
I think Noah told people that she had that extra half because she had given him the other half earlier on in the tunnels. But I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, I
good point.
Until just a day or so ago.
Why is it a half vote, not just a whole vote?
They split a whole vote, I think. So
But
they each got
why?
it.
That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. I guess it was like they were hoping like the 2 halves would come out at the same
Tiebreaker
time.
thing? I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm finally getting out of bed now that my migraine's gone, but I have to get ready for work.
I think Tover wants us to vote.
You can keep going all you want to.
Oh,
Right?
ask us more questions. Ask
You
us
know?
questions.
I'm running on fumes. I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's get to the vote. The mystery of the half a vote will be answered on finale night. But for now, it's time to get to the whole vote. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to mute myself whilst I am away. Please do not talk about anything except for shout outs and things like that. Don't talk about this vote or the game.
Shout out to Jackie from Padlock and Montes.
Shout out to Zorp. If you know, you know. Shout out to my sleep schedule for somehow waking me up exactly like 15 minutes before the vote.
Shout out to Zoe and Thomas in Sam's project.
Shout out to the 2 people who got me into orgs, Zoe and Thomas.
Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. I'm waiting for Juan to shout out Chanel because she's what?
That girl.
Okay, I'm ready now. Shout out to Chanel because she is in fact that girl. Yeah, yeah. And Mucus and Survivor tonight.
To Jacob's wife, Aaliyah. My friend just had a baby. Well, my friend's friend the other day had a baby, and they named her Malia, and I got really excited because I thought they said Aaliyah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know someone with that name. Did they spell with an H at the end? And then I found out it was the wrong name, and I was totally wrong and was less excited. But it's still a pretty name, and also congrats to the couple that had that baby.
We're at that time in the world where Harry Potter has like been around long enough that there was a kid at a swim meet named Gellert.
What was the kid's name?
Gellert,
Oh, I love it.
like Gellert Grindelwald. And then and there's lots of elementary schoolers named Khaleesi.
You know
running
darn
around.
well that there's some grandma that didn't realize that that was a Harry Potter name, who thought her children had the most creative name in the world.
Gellert. Let's dance in.
A quick shout out to all my dogs at the crib from my work.
I do like
Good.
Khaleesi as a name.
I'm
Khaleesi is
actually on my
amazing.
way to the dogs at the crib at my work. I'm doing an overnight shift at the doggy daycare.
Oh, cute.
Wait, are the dogs in your crib actually dogs, Tyler?
No,
Oh, the dogs in the crib I'm going
it's
to are
a
actual
it's
dogs.
a Cam from Big Brother reference.
Oh
I
my
was actually
cats in
talking
the
about
cradle.
Cam, like Org Cam, who is doing a horror themed game right now, and I'm watching in the BL. So go Cam.
You know what? Today it is, Sanam, just because of
Yep.
that.
He graduated during our game. Putting on shoes is hard. Where's Shout out to my cats for literally eating paper this week because I came home and my notes for my memo for school were apparently very delicious, and I don't know when they decided to pick this up as a hobby.
Nova, you have a floof.
He was being naughty, so I was like, okay, you're getting held.
Oh.
Like 10, 11 years ago, I had these roommates, and every morning we would sit on the porch and they would smoke cigarettes, and I would just chill because I don't smoke. And then one morning they're like, we're going to go to the corner store to get cigarettes. And I was like, cool. And then they disappeared for 2 hours. And then when they came back, they brought a giant cat, approximately the size of that cat, and it was named Scott.
He's a big boy.
Oh my God, I love a big cat.
My old roommate's cat's name was Soup. And he was a menace.
Listen, cats did nothing. Leave them alone.
Oh, he did.
Believe cats.
He did everything.
Guys, my friend gave me these plastic eggs that had confetti in them, and you're supposed to pop them, and there's tissue paper covering it. And apparently, my purse did not like them, so there is now confetti over everything I just came back from Vancouver with.
Are they cascarones? Oh God.
I'm never going to see a spot without confetti again.
Well, before I read the votes, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol, tarot card, or other relevant advantage they would like to play, now would be the time to do so. All right. I will read the votes. Once the votes read, decision is final. The competitor with the most votes will have a moment to speak their piece, and then they must leave the Zoom immediately. I will read the votes. First vote. Ren. Josh. One vote Ren, one vote Josh. Josh. Two votes Josh, one vote Ren. Josh. Three votes Josh, one vote Ren. Josh. 4 votes Josh, 1 vote Ren. Renique. 4 votes Josh, 2 votes Renique. Renique. 4 votes Josh, 3 votes Renique. Renique. 4 votes Josh, 4 votes Renique. Jacob. 4 votes Josh, 4 votes Renique. 1 vote Jacob, 1 vote left. Jess. We are tied. 4 votes Josh, 4 votes Renique. It is now time to revote. But so I need you to you can only vote for Josh or Renique. Josh and Renique, you cannot vote. So we're now going to go back off camera, back to being muted, and I will return once you recast your votes to bump it to the top of the prod chat. All right. As a reminder, there is no talking about this vote or the game during this period. I have the votes once again. If there is a tie, we will immediately go to rocks. If there isn't a tie, then the person with the most votes will have a moment to speak their piece, and then they must leave the Zoom immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Josh. Ren. 1 vote Josh, 1 vote Ren. Josh. Renique. 2 votes Josh, 2 votes Renique. Josh. Renique. 3 votes Josh, 3 votes Renique. Josh. The next player to be bested by the competition and to have been defeated in the Olympic Games. And the 4th member of our jury is Josh. Josh, our first winner, you may now speak your piece.
I'd like to say that I think I put in a good fight, right? Maybe, but I mean, this has been a really cool experience.
Wait, sorry, I'm so sorry to cut you. You're gone, not me?
I'm gone.
Oh, Josh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Listen, I am so sorry it came to this, but there was no other thing, no other
Oh.
choice.
That's okay. All right, continue.
Fred,
No,
let Josh speak his piece.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I love you to pieces. You're one of the best people I've met here. So, oh my God, my brain fog right now. But this has been a ton of fun. Like I just wanted to come here and have fun, and I feel like I did. And ultimately, I'm really glad to have done this. And like, if there's anything I took out of this, is to not dwell on the past, but just focus on your futures. So I'm gonna do that, and I hope you all do as well. Much love, and have a good game, y'all.
Thank you, Josh. With that, we were so close to a tie, almost got to rocks, but it was not meant to be on this night. We will bid you all farewell. We got a couple of exciting things planned for you coming up, but nothing shocking to announce right here and now.